He believed he had finally made it in life. After years of waking up early, working overtime, saying no to so many things, he did what he had always dreamed of. He bought his dream pickup truck. It wasn't just a car. It was proof of his success. It was an achievement. He only had two dreams in life: to have a family and to buy a pickup truck. He already had the family. And the pickup truck, it came to be the cherry on top. When he finally managed to make his dream of owning a pickup truck come true, he was already 40 years old. But his dream had started long before that. At 5 years old, he rode in a pickup truck for the first time and then got a toy one as a gift. And that's when his passion began. While other kids were chasing after soccer balls, he would stand on the sidewalk, waiting for the deep rumble of an engine to get closer. Whenever a pickup truck appeared around the corner, his eyes would light up. He would take in every detail: the height, the tires caked with dirt, the empty bed that in his imagination was loaded with adventures. His favorite toys were little cars, almost all of them pickup trucks. Some were already missing wheels, others had chipped paint, but to Peter, they were treasures. In his teenage years, Peter came up with a pickup truck motto. It's not just a car, it's proof of success in life. And he carried that motto with him until he finally got his own. He spent 9 months living that dream, enjoying his truck. But at a certain point, he realized that his dream was draining all his money, stealing his sleep, and turning happiness into regret. The problem started out small. A warning light on the dashboard, a strange noise. It's nothing serious, he told himself. And he didn't tell his wife anything because when he bought it, he had convinced her that he was making a good deal. The car wasn't new, but apparently it was in good condition. At the time, the price seemed so good that he didn't think twice. He didn't call a specialist to check the car. He just paid and transferred it to his name. On his first big family trip, he wanted to do everything perfectly. The tank was full, the car was washed, the luggage was organized, and his son was excited in the back seat. His wife was smiling, trusting that everything would work out. Peter drove proudly, hands on the wheel and heart light. That was when the dream seemed complete. Halfway there, the first line appeared. The pickup lost power. The dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. The sound of the engine changed. A dry, wrong sound. He tried to ignore it. He turned down the radio and accelerated carefully. It's just in my head, he thought. Until the car just died. Silence. The shoulder was narrow. The sun was blazing, cars speeding by too fast. His son asked with a kind of innocence that hurts, "Dad, are we there yet?" Peter didn't answer right away. He tried to start the engine once, twice, 3 times. Nothing. He popped the hood without really knowing what to look for. The sun was pouring down, but it wasn't heat, it was fear. His wife, worried, asked, "Is everything okay, honey?" He says, "Yeah, it's all good. This has happened before. I know what to do." And then she replies, "What do you mean? It's happened before? The cars have this problem before? When?" "Oh, it's been a while. But since it was nothing serious, I forgot to tell you," he answered, uneasy. She trusted that everything would be fine. But he couldn't fix it on his own and had to call a tow truck. The tow truck took hours to arrive. The trip ended right there. The money that was supposed to be for fun ended up going to repairs. And his pride was left on the shoulder of the road, right along with the pickup truck. After that day on the road, Peter believed the worst was behind him. The car spent a few weeks at the shop, came out fixed, and the mechanic assured him that now everything was fine. He started driving more carefully, no long trips, not pushing the car too hard, almost like he was walking on eggshells. But 2 months later, the nightmare returned, and this time it wasn't just a subtle warning light on the dashboard, it was constant loss of power, it was overheating. It was a metallic noise that sent chills down his spine. And with every new problem came a bigger bill. And an even greater fear, a fear of telling his wife. Afraid of hearing that he already knew what he was doing. It made sense that maybe it was time to get rid of the pickup truck. So he kept quiet. He paid for repairs in silence. He put what he could on installments. He kept putting off decisions. And he convinced himself that this time it'll work. But 6 months after the tow truck incident, she started to notice the bills weren't adding up like the fly. The money that used to be left at the end of the months started to run out. The credit card was always maxed out, and without warning, even their savings started to shrink. She didn't ask right away, she just watched. She took notes until one quiet night, after their son had gone to sleep, she sat down at the kitchen table with the bills spread out. And she spoke to him with a firm but tired voice. "Peter, we need to talk." He felt his stomach gulp. She didn't yell. She didn't accuse. She didn't throw anything in his face. She just asked, "What's going on with our money?" His silence answered before his words did. Peter realized that the real weight of the pickup truck wasn't in the gas or the repairs. It was in what he was hiding. In the fear of admitting that a dream, when it turns into pride, can become too big a problem to carry alone. The conversation lasted for hours. Peter, his voice choked with emotion, said everything he'd been swallowing for months. The fear of seeming like a failure. The feeling that if he sold the pickup so quickly, everyone would think he couldn't handle it. So, give me 6 months. He said that, for now, he'd leave the pickup parked. That he needed time to accept it. That it still hurt too much to let go of the dream so soon. She listened, took a deep breath, and replied calmly, but with a firmness he never forgot. "You shouldn't care about what others think. I'm proud of you. I've always been. Proud that you worked hard, that you earned your first pickup." Then she finished, her eyes brimming with tears. "But this is costing us our peace. And you, Peter, are doing something you've never done before. You're hiding things from me." That hurt him more than any bill ever could. They hugged each other. They stood up and looked deeply into each other's eyes. And right then, Peter agreed. He was gonna put the pickup up for sale. But reality was harsh. The pickup lost value quickly. People wanted to pay way less than he should get. Offers that almost felt like an insult. Peter realized he wasn't just selling a car. He was bargaining with his own pride. Then Peter realized something simple but painful. The longer he kept that pickup, the more it hurt. So he decided to end it once and for all and sold it. For almost half of what he had paid. He signed the papers with the lump in his throat, but for the first time in a long while, his heart was at peace. And then 5 years went by. Life went on, the bills were paid on time, and conversations were always honest. The family was closer than ever. Until, on an ordinary day, his wife called him. "Honey, how about we spend the weekend, just the two of us?" And it was a wonderful weekend. When they got home, he was in for a surprise. There was a pickup truck parked at their door, a brand new one. He was simply speechless. "Colonel, what do you mean?" That was all he could say. She then smiled and said she'd been saving money for years, putting aside every leftover, every quiet little saving, and told him, "Your dreams have always been mine too, and I never forgot the day you gave up your biggest dream to protect our family." Peter cried, not because of the truck, but because of his wife's love. He hadn't lost his dream, he had just postponed it, to live something much greater. And now, there, at his front door, he didn't just see a truck, a new one. He saw respect, partnership, and proof that true success is building dreams together. And that was the first story here on our channel. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave a like. And if you enjoyed this story, if it inspired you in any way, I'd like to ask you a sincere question. How long is it worth holding on to dreams or clinging to them when they start to disturb your family's peace? Leave your opinion here in the comments because I'll read every single one, okay? Big hugs and see you next time.